we'll see. All right, welcome everybody to the Sacramento Speaker and Entrepreneur Network webinar for December 2018. I'm Katrina Sawa, the organizer. I'm a speaker, author, and a business coach here in Sacramento area. I work with people all over the world, however, and I've got some fun, exciting announcements about the group in just a little bit. Moving forward, as well as some other fun things going on here in Sacramento and around the country. So I'm excited to get started though with tonight's webinar. It's 1 hour and we kind of do dive in with introductions first, and those who show up get to introduce themselves, and that's how I roll. You got to show up on time. And you get to do a little introduction. If you're on video, then you want to open up the chat right now. So the chat is down on the bottom of the screen, and it'll pop up over on the right side of your screen, and you can copy and paste stuff in there. You can tell us what your business is, what you do. You can put as much information in the chat as you would like. I don't care. And put links, though, back to your website or back to your Facebook to connect with people further. And make sure you're paying attention to what other people are putting in the Facebook chat as well, because you can actually connect with people live on the spot. I do this with myself. I don't do this myself. I do this on other calls that I'm a part of. I will go into the chat and connect and email and message people beyond the call. So that's how you really take advantage of this networking opportunity tonight. But we do have a great speaker today. We have Kathi Burns, and I'm going to read her information in just a minute. But I want to do some introductions first. And so if you stick around to the end of the call, you will also be able to share anything where you're speaking locally, or if you have an event or something, you can promote it there at the end of the call. So you do need to stick around. But then we also do usually at least one 5-minute mastermind, 5 minutes in the spotlight. So we pick someone that's on the call live towards the end of the call, and we get to brainstorm on something that you might need help with in regards to your business, your marketing, your speaking, anything that you're doing. And so we love to do that kind of a mastermind at the end of the call. And on this particular call, I'm just going to say I'm looking for a little bit more feedback for what you guys want to see for next year. Would love to get any of your feedback. I do plan on continuing some sort of webinar, but I want to also maybe change up the in-person thing again. And I'm going to also be starting another group that you can be a part of as well. Plus there's a ton of live events here in Sacramento that I want to make sure you know about. So I'm going to do that with my introduction in just a few. But like I said, those of you who showed up live get to introduce yourself. So hey Michelle, hey Carol, hey Barbara. There's some people from all over the country here today, which is really cool. And let me just make sure. So go ahead and make sure you're putting stuff in the chat. I'm going to tell you the order. We're going to do intros, and then if you can just unmute yourself to come on and introduce yourself, that would be great. So we're going to do, I'm going to do Kathi first, and I'll do your official bio in a little bit, but go ahead and do your intro first, and then Sarah, and then Johnny, and then Rhonda. And I better write this down because sometimes you move around on me. So Sarah, and then Johnny, and then Rhonda, and then Barbara Ellison, and then Chuck, and then Gary, and then I see Chase, and I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that right. Is that right? Nod your head. Chase? No, okay. You can tell me when you unmute in a minute. And then Carol, and then Michelle from LA area, and then the person on the phone with the 647. You're muted currently. Okay. All right, that's the order. So know who you're after. Kathi, go for it.
Hi, I'm Kathi Burns. My company is Add Space to Your Life. I'm a professional organizer and image consultant, which means that I help clients clear their clutter and look good.
Awesome. And your website is?
AddSpaceToYourLife.com, also organizedandenergized.com. And awesome. I'll be posting all of my links here in chat in a moment.
Perfect. Sarah, go ahead.
Awesome. Hello, my name is Sarah Binger. I actually am in Las Vegas, but I am an online bookkeeper. So I can work with clients anywhere across the country doing platforms and apps that integrate well with QuickBooks Online or Xero, depending on which accounting software you like to use. Sarah Binger, Dream Builder Bookkeeper. You build the dream, I'll keep the books.
Love that. Okay, Johnny.
Hey, I'm Johnny Lujan. My website is johnnylujan.com. I am a motivational speaker and coach. My specialty seems to be rounded back out to recovery and overcoming challenges. Every time I try to get away from that, I get thrown right back in it. So I guess that's my thing. So I'm helping a lot of people right now, and I'm trying to organize that into a business model.
Awesome. Thank you. Rhonda.
Hello, my name is Rhonda Lee. Big nice to be here tonight. I'm from the Fresh Inspiration Show, and this is where I get to support speakers and authors. And I have a 2019 tour that I am filling up. That's in San Francisco, Marin area, Santa Rosa, and the Sacramento County. So come speak to me if you are an author too. I'd love to talk to you about getting you booked on the show. Also, I have the Fresh Inspiration Ranch. Johnny is coming over here to check out to see if he wants to do a workshop over here. So I support others in doing workshops too at the ranch. Nice to meet everybody.
Awesome. Thank you. Barbara. Oh, you're muted. Here. I gotcha.
Okay, there I am. Okay. I'm Barbara Ellison. I was Time Partner Media, and I'm an SEO expert, and I help companies to increase their Google footprint, and which is what many SEO people don't do. And of just getting more visibility, more exposure, and of course, more rankings.
Awesome. Your website? You put it in
timedpartner.com.
Perfect.
I'll put it in the chat.
Okay. Chuck.
Chuck Hooper here. I'm a speaker and a speaker coach and currently specializing in education, higher education, and some K through 12.
Did you say K through 12?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm like, it didn't go with what you said a minute ago. Sorry.
K through kindergarten through seniors in high school.
Gotcha. All right. Gary.
Hello. I work with individuals. I'm a speaker, and I work with individuals to develop their presentation skills. And excuse me, I got this cough here. So anyways, I work with the speakers to develop their skills so they can connect with their audience and deliver their message with impact.
Awesome.
And my website is GaryMcKinsey.com.
Good. And it's so handy that we have all our names up here so people can know where you go. All right. Please, Miss Boswell, please tell us how to pronounce your name.
First off, my name is Mariah, but I realized when I connected through the Zoom account, it went through my boyfriend's account. So I was like, Chaz, what are you doing here? But yes, my name is Mariah Renee, and I recently created my own consulting firm. It's called Mariah Claire Consulting, and it focuses on HR and organizational development services. So I'm in the beginning stages, and I don't have my website up yet. I'm still trying to finalize the format. But I'll put in my LinkedIn and Facebook account on there.
Perfect. Thank you. Mariah, right?
Yes, Mariah.
Mariah. Okay. Got it. Totally misleading with your name.
Right.
All right. Carol dropped off. She'll probably be back. How about Michelle?
I heard there was a fabulous speaker today, and my name is Michelle Vieira, and I'm in Los Angeles. I'm a certified professional organizer, and I work with people with brain-related challenges like ADHD, anxiety, addiction, that sort of thing.
Yay. And you know Kathi. Yay.
I sure do.
My buddy.
Kathi.
Even though I've invited you to this call every month for like over a year. I'm just kidding.
Love you too.
No, I do. I love you, sweetie. All right. And then the person on the phone, note the 647 phone number. Go ahead. You're unmuted. Hope we can hear you. You're unmuted.
All right. Hear me?
Can you say something so I can hear you?
Hi, can you hear me now?
Yes, we can.
Okay, great. I am a first-time member. My name is Rich Sieber. Thanks so much for having me. I am an author and a speaker, and this is really my first time, so I'm just trying to get a feel for the group, and so far I'm enjoying learning about all the other members.
Awesome. And can you spell your first name for me? I'm still not hearing it right.
Sure. It's short for Richard, R-I-C-H. My last name is Sieber, S-E-I-B like boy, E-R.
Okay. And you're a speaker. Did you have a website, or is there anything? Are you in this area, Sacramento? You are, right? 916?
Yes. Yes, I'm in the Sacramento area. I'm an author and a speaker. I speak on topics related to special needs, how to be an encouragement expert, pro-life messages, things of that nature. And I have written 2 novels and 2 books about my son's autism.
Oh, wow. Okay. Very cool. So are you on a computer or just the phone right now?
I am commuting, so right now I'm just on the phone.
Okay, no worries. I just thought if you could access the chat room, but thank you for being here, and welcome.
Thank you.
And Whitney, you made it just in time, sweetie. If you want to give your introduction, you're the last one. Go ahead.
Hi, I'm Whitney Wiley with Shifting into Action, and I am just, I keep saying I'm just embarking on this speaking to build business, but I haven't done anything yet. So I'm working on finishing up a book that's a compilation of articles that I've written for a trade magazine on leadership, and planning to tie all this stuff together and get moving in 2019. So glad to be here. Thanks, Katrina.
Awesome. You're welcome. Well, thanks for being here, you guys, and showing up tonight. I appreciate that. And we have a really good group, and I see all the little links in the thing. And don't forget that if you did show up, then you're going to get I put the recordings of the webinar and the chat room content. So I copy all the chat room contents and put it into a document on my website. And I'll pull up the page here so you can see where it is. And I'll put the link in the chat as well. Hold 1 second, fast as I can. Okay, so here's the page with all the webinars. I do the recording here and the chat room here, and it actually opens up all the chat comments from you guys and all your links. So know that as much as you can put in there, the better. And you can actually go back and watch all the other webinars too. We've had a lot of great speakers over the last year or so, and you might want to go check them out. So that is, it's at my website at jumpstartyourmarketing.com/SAC, like SAC, Sacramento, SAC, SAC speaker webinars. And I will put that in the chat room for you. So that's how to access the recording. Know that it'll be there probably by tomorrow sometime. So you can go look at it anytime. And sometimes, especially if you're the person in the hot seat later, you might want to review this because we might give you a bunch of information that you might want to hang on to, or at least listen back to. And of course, Kathy's gonna, give you some great information. And just a quick little note for some of you who don't know about me, I help people make a lot more money doing what you love. I look at the big picture all the way down to the nitty-gritty of what you're doing in the day-to-day, week-to-week, month-to-month aspect of your business, from the big picture planning to what strategic marketing things are you going to do, to what are you going to say in that sales call to close the deal, and how to do some bigger things like become an author, start a high-end program, do your own live events, anything and everything that's going to make you more money and stop working so hard are the things that I focus on. And so it's different for everybody, and I love it. And I have some clients on the line here tonight, and we have some people that have been to a lot of my events. So there's a lot of events coming up in 2019. And a real quick note about the SAC speaker group is I might actually change the name from Sacramento Speaker and Entrepreneur Network to something more global and international, because we are getting people on a global basis to the webinars, and I don't want to deter people from coming when they see Sacramento on there. So that's one thing I plan on changing in 2019. And I'm also going to be launching, probably launching a chapter of the Women's Prosperity Network as well in the Northern California area. Is there anybody that's a member? No, there's not a lot of action on the West Coast for the Women's Prosperity Network. And I've been to 2 of their events so far, and oh my God, they're amazing. And I want to bring it from the East Coast to the West Coast. And I want to really take over California, and then coming down to LA for you, Michelle, too. But so I'm partnering the Women's Prosperity Network up with the Public Speakers Association, my friend Tanya Hoffman. And we're going to be doing a 2-day event in May, and so you can watch out for that. But that's going to be a really good event to attend, and even fly out to if you're not local, because Tanya, who runs the Public Speakers Association, she holds monthly telesummits where any member can be on it. You could literally have a speaking gig every single month on her telesummit. Not to mention that her conference this next year is in London, England. So if you ever want to go to London or speak in London, this is your opportunity to do that, is to become a member of the PSA and go speak in London this year. And she will usually take any member to speak if you do it quickly. She's booking speakers now. So, but that's just a little heads up. I have connections with a lot of different organizations, and I want to bring people in and collaborate more this year and do some more virtual stuff like this, because I meet so many fabulous people from all across the country, and Canada and Australia, and do book launches and meet a bunch of people that way too, that I want to bring everybody together in more of a centralized webinar. So I'm still plotting out ideas for that, but if you guys all have my email, if you're getting reminders for this call, I would love you to shoot me an email on your thoughts for what you might be interested in hearing more about or seeing or participating in. You know, is this a good time of day? Do you want 2 webinars a month? I don't think I want to do 2 webinars. I think 1 webinar a month, but you know, if would you be willing to come to some regional events if they're about speakers and entrepreneurs? I also happen to be speaking at the Coaches, Authors, and Speakers Conference, which is in LA end of January. So you might want to look at that one as well. I'll put some of those links in the chat when we're talking here, but I just wanted to kind of throw out some ideas about this group and it being in Meetup and what else you might be seeing on the horizon for next year. So that's just kind of a little preview. Any questions on any of that? You can raise your hand if you're muted, or no, you're good. Okay, sound good? Give me a thumbs up, thumbs down, like, okay, good. Like someone's gonna give me a thumbs down. Thank you. I call like this, right? Oh, thanks, Chuck. I know you would. All right, so I want to introduce Kathi and then let her take the floor for a little while and share with us some cool things. Her topic tonight is key takeaways from her presentation will be determine where to start when getting organized, eliminate paper piles, how to handle business cards and contacts. And boy, going into the holidays, this is a great time to really get yourself organized in your office, and so you can really start the year fresh. So Kathi Burns, CPO, is an author, speaker, and the founder of Add Space to Your Life, a professional organizing and image consultancy. As an organizing, image, and productivity expert, Kathy's insights have been featured on Martha Stewart Living, Better Homes and Gardens, Entrepreneur, and Oprah Magazine, and many other national media outlets. She is a frequently called upon guest for Fox, NBC, and CW6 News. In 2004, Kathi was lauded and featured as successful woman-owned business on Good Morning America. Kathi is fiercely committed to guiding small business owners to achieve more success and prosperity so they can have the business of their dreams, enjoy more free time for personal endeavors while maintaining work-life balance. As a serial entrepreneur with over 20 years of experience working with amazing clients, Kathi uses her intuition and experience to guide them to achieving remarkable success. Her mission and commitment is to help small businesses create systems that support and uplift both staff and owners. Kathi, take it away, sweetie.
All right, let's see if I can share my screen. Let me see here, share. Can everybody see it?
Not yet.
Oh, okay, I can see it. Hold on one sec. That's what I wasn't sure. I practiced on Zoom. However, oh, here we go. Desktop, perhaps.
There we
Share.
go.
Okay.
There we go.
Awesome. There we go. How's that? Is
Perfect.
it back? Okay.
Get rid of your security and privacy settings. That's what we see in front of your PowerPoint. So close that box.
That was the chat. Okay. How's that?
Nope. It's still sitting in front of your PowerPoint. It's the security and privacy, like your computer.
Really?
It's like your preferences box from your, you're going to have to escape out, and then you're going to have to close the box and then open it back up.
Katrina, I'm not seeing that.
Yeah, I'm not seeing that either.
Yeah, me neither.
So that's not
You're
yours,
special.
Katrina?
Oh, you're not seeing?
No.
Are you?
Mine says my goal today.
Okay, perfect.
Yay.
Girl with a wheelbarrow.
Yeah.
Because I cannot even see what you can necessarily see. So thank you. Different
I'm
when
a
you
girl
are
with a wheelbarrow.
a guest on a Zoom meeting as opposed to leading the Zoom meeting, like where the controls are all kind of weird. So so sorry about that, Katrina, but you can.
No, you're fine. I got it. It's okay.
Excellent. Okay. So anyhow, I'm so pleased to be here, and thank you so much, Katrina, for having me on as a guest. I've been looking forward to this for quite some time. I just love helping entrepreneurs create systems so that they can thrive, and that's my goal today. Is I'd like to start your thinking cap and help you eliminate the things in your life that might be holding you back. Because I only have 15 minutes, I'm just going to cover things very briefly and delve into one deep dive. So the things that can hold you back are, okay, let's see if I can change my slides now. Okay. So where to start is always about overcoming your overwhelm. And people, as you know, when you get ready to do a project, you're like, I don't even know where to begin because there's too much going on. So you have to ask yourself 3 basic questions. And the 3 questions that I always say is to look around you first off. Do you see piles or do you see files? That's the number one kicker. What lives in your $1 million real estate? What's all around you right now in your dust zone? Okay, what's there? And is it stuff that's serving you? And then where do you have the most visible clutter? If it's not your desktop, which oftentimes it is, it could just be a pile in the corner, something as you walk into your office that just distracts you immediately. So take a look around your space and see where you might want to begin. And those are 3 real good places to start. The 4 main areas that I see most of my clients struggle in is that they don't have systems set up. Possibly they've jumped into their business, they love what they do, they go full tilt boogie, but they don't really build the infrastructure to support a sustainable business. They have piles instead of files. They don't have time management under control. Things are just happening to them and they're reacting. Okay, they just in reaction zone. Or they simply just have too much stuff in their environment to even think straight or think clearly. Uh-oh. Okay. I don't know if you've heard this before, but the average U.S. executive wastes 4 to 5 hours a week looking for misplaced documents. I don't know if it's ever happened to you. Raise your hand if you've been in that situation. Can't find the paper, right? And, you know, it not only affects losing time, but it affects your psyche. Because even though we might be really competent business owners, if we can't find what we need right away, we feel like we're just doomed or failing or just don't have our act together, where we probably could and do, but because we can't find what we need at our fingertips very quickly, it totally makes us psyched out. So the question is right now, do you have files or do you have piles? Okay, this is actually one of my clients, and she jokingly did that for me. It's awesome. She had piles everywhere because she didn't have a proper system. A pile represents one of 3 things. Okay, so if you have a pile around you, I guarantee you it's either that you're procrastinating about it because you know what to do with it, but you're just procrastinating. You're avoiding it because you just can't go there. It's something that you really don't want to breach or touch, or you're just plain indecisive. You have no idea what to do with it. even if you were going to take action, there was no place for it to go and you didn't have a decision around it. So my question is this: when papers enter your life, where do they land? Do you have a landing place? Do you have a zone where papers can just land into your space? So who has a designated place for papers to land? Anybody out there? Aha, okay, Missy does. So in order to know where papers should land, you need to have kind of a grip on what are the different types of papers in your life. If you know kind of what they are, you have more of an idea of where they should land or where they should live. So amazingly, there's only 5 different categories of paper or documents in the whole entire world. 6, but I'll tell you the 6th one after this. The first thing that a piece of paper can be is a piece of paper that's in action. These are the papers that are, if you have papers on your desk right now in piles, they're generally your papers in action, because out of sight, out of mind. You don't want to put them away because you might lose them and you have to do something about it. The next thing a piece of paper can be is something that's a permanent document, and those definitely should not be on your desk. Those are papers like, amazingly, there's not that much permanent. There's genealogy, education records, medical test results. The majority of papers in your file drawer right now, I would expect, unless you have a proper system, are permanent. What that means is 80% come in, go into your drawer, and never come back out again. So that's not a true permanent section. The next thing a piece of paper can be is a policy or an agreement with the world. So take, for instance, your auto insurance policy. They come, they go. I like to consider them agreements because they're remove, replace. When you get the new one, basically the old one gets thrown out if you have the proper system set up. And if you think about it when you're putting it back in the drawer. Reference. We all have reference items. Like take, for instance, Katrina, you're writing a book. You have a lot of references you've built up around the book and the chapters and the topics and that type of thing. Those would be a good reference section. The next thing are, what does Uncle Sam want, right? What are the tax receipts in your life that you need to keep in your life for Uncle Sam for future reference, right? So if you can kind of get wrap your mind around those 5 categories, it's going to really help you file a lot. It's going to help you know that these papers need to go with these, like with like. So the permanents go with permanents, policies go with policies, so on and so forth. But because of lack of time, I'm only going to talk to you about the papers in action, because generally that's where most people get mucked up, okay? So as a paper flow specialist, I'm trained in Freedom Filer, which is a filing system. I want a place for the 3 L's. I want a place for your papers to land. I want a place for them to live while you need them. And the most important thing, I want an exit strategy or a place for them to leave, a way for them to leave. The file drawer, as you see on the right, is not your place to have them leave. Again, 80% go in, never come out again, or even see the light of day, let alone come out and get purged. So for landing, it's always good to have vertical space. Now, you'll probably heard professional organizers talk all the time about vertical, vertical, vertical. We don't want piles, we want files. We want everything to be vertical in your life so that you can grab your hand onto it. So when you're thinking about papers, I want you to think vertically. You see the pile of papers right there on your left, or I guess maybe your left, that's not vertical. Okay, the pile is not a vertical thing. The stepper right above it would be an example of a vertical place to hold your papers. And it's most efficient if the papers that you need to grab that you're working on right now are vertically in a stepper like this, because that way you can see them, you can grab them, you can access them very quickly. So you want your client, your files, your reference files, your permanent files, your policies, all that good stuff can go into the drawers. But the stuff that you need to work on right now, please keep it vertical on your desktop. Wow. Hold on, I just went way, okay, sorry about that. So let's talk about the different types of papers in action, okay? So papers in action magically are only about 8 categories. And that's really cool when you figure out what is the type of action that I have to take first, second, third on these papers. Well, we all have bills to pay, right? So that's a really good file to have in your vertical action stepper. We all have calls that we need to make. Someone called you, you need to call them back, or maybe it's just an outbound call that you need to do for marketing. All of us have coupons and offers. And as an aside to that, that can be your gift cards that get lost all the time. You can put the gift cards in there as well. I don't know if you know this, if you're getting ready to give holiday gifts, but we like clutter-free gifts as professional organizers. Gift cards are not that. Only 1 in 3 gift cards gets used by clients. And it's a big, huge, booming industry. And I can attest to the fact why they don't get used, because they get lost. Okay, I find them all the time when I'm working in client environments. So a good place to put your gift cards are coupons and offers. Upcoming events. We all have upcoming events. This is where I put the information for this seminar and webinar, so that it was right there front and center, so I know where my links were, and I had my processes and my projects as I was going through creating the webinar. Current projects, that could also be where you would put, like the webinar you're designing, the book that you're developing, whatever. We all have projects in our life, whatever that represents. Now, when it's 1 to 2 pieces of paper, you can just put it in the file called current projects. If it ends up being a big daddy deal, like writing a book or doing any major event, you can have an extra file behind current projects is actually that title. Okay, so that way it stays kind of separate as a more important priority project. Waiting for response. We are always waiting for somebody for something. We're waiting for a callback, or waiting for an adjustment to a bill, whatever. That's where you put that. Now, two that are client-centric are often, for the weekly meeting. Say you have a weekly Monday morning meeting with your staff, you could have a file called that. Or say you have a coaching session every week with a coach. You could have, coaching for the weekly coaching session. And then another an option is for your administrator, or like I have one for my husband, things that I need to ask him to get answers on right away. I'll just pop them in that file throughout the week, so that whenever I finally wrangle them down and we sit down to have a business meeting, I have all my questions right there that I can get answers to that I need to do. So the first 6 are ones that almost every one of us have, and the last 2 are going to be site specific for you. Now, the action stepper that I showed you, that vertical file system, the beauty of that, and it's ugly, my clients say, it's so ugly, I hate it, but it has 8 steps, which is awesome. So if you have 8 different types of action, you have a step for each of the different types of action, and it keeps you really organized. You can see them right there on your desktop based on these types of action. Okay, let's see. I'm so sorry, I don't know what is. Okay, does anybody have any questions right now about that? Because I zoomed through papers, and I know that there's a lot of energy around the paper flow situation. Are your papers flowing? And if they aren't, do you have any questions specifically about how to make them move? Do we need to unmute people? Sorry.
You can unmute yourself if you have questions. I know I'm pretty organized with folders, but I just have too many projects, so that's my problem.
Yeah. And sometimes like writing a book could be a whole vertical stepper. The whole book is there based on the different chapters and whatnot. So that's what I did when I wrote a couple of my books, is they each have their own potential stepper right there in front of my book.
But this is printed out right now. This is our book, you guys. I had to go through every edit, every page. I did it on the plane to and from this weekend. So
that's exciting. This is the holiday season, and generally we're slow, right? So while we're in a slow point, this is the totally best time to regroup. And I'm sorry, Michelle, did you have a question? I saw you raising your hand. No? Okay. But this is the time to really create systems for success for yourself and make time savers that you can use throughout the year. We're no longer in reaction mode typically during the holidays. It's time to sit back and reflect and maybe create better systems for our lives. So I would recommend that you do that. I don't know why I word on these.
I don't know. I like it though. I think it's important to, because I do have a lot of paper on my desk and I try to really keep a folder. Otherwise things get lost, you know, and so very smart.
Yeah, you know, and the vertical stepper is really the magic key, in my opinion, to keep everything up on your desk that you need, but not in piles. It's very rare that I've seen a professional piler. In my 13 years of doing this, I've had like 2 people that I would consider pro pilers, and a pro piler is someone who can find something very quickly among the piles on their desk. And you know, like that. If you can find things, you know, very quickly, then you could be a professional piler and you might not need to go vertical. But going vertical saves a lot of time, a lot of energy for yourself.
Johnny,
trying to see if I can get back to some of these
Johnny
slides.
Said he's a professional piler. His wife calls him the pile guy.
I'm the pile guy. I don't want to say I'm a professional piler. I just have a whole bunch of piles because I have so much going on. I just keep stacking. I don't even know what's in there sometimes. And then, you know, once a month, twice a month, she says, clean your piles. And I go through everything, and then I find the coupon or I find stuff. So that's one of my goals. I got to get better organized. So
see, I don't want a visual thing on my desk. I totally remodeled my desk, and now I have it in drawers, and I have a filing thing in drawer. I don't want anything outside except for few piles I'm working on.
Well, I think, you know, I think what she said, I think the papers in action, the things that you are actually working on, I don't mind seeing those files. It's all the other.
No. Yeah.
I can't have 20 files. It drives me crazy.
Yeah, absolutely. And if you work from a home office and you have personal stuff and business stuff, you can keep them separated by using 2 different steppers on each side of your monitor. And when you first start out with the system, it's good to keep it right by your monitor so that you remember to use it. And the thing about the action is that things will flow in and out. So take, for instance, you get a bill to pay and you look at it and you're like, wait a minute, they shouldn't be charging me this. And so instead of paying, you'll put it into calls. And when you have time set aside for your calls in Time Management 101, right, you make your calls. They can say, oh, yes, you're right, we need to adjust the bill, we'll send you something. Then it would immediately go into waiting for response. And then once you got the response back, you know where to find it, back into bills to pay, and you're done. And then it moves out of your life. And typically the papers in action will go either into tax receipts or they'll just go into the dumpster because you don't need them. By the way, the 6th category is, can anybody guess it?
The trash.
Yeah, trash or shred, exactly. So it's either going to be something that's in action, something that's a policy, something that's a permanent document, something that's a reference or a resource, or something that Uncle Sam wants. And if it's not one of those, it's generally recycle or trash. Yes.
Kathy, I don't know if this fits, but it feels like it does. I go to day workshops quite a bit. And so I'll have my stuff while I'm there, and I'll be writing down stuff, but there's pieces that land in different areas. So let's say I have a few projects going. And so usually when I'm at an event, my mind is going in different directions because I get insight into, oh, I need to add this, oh, they just said this. So when I'm looking at this thing I bring home, my thing that I'm having a difficult time with is that I go through as much as I can, but sometimes I feel like it takes me in all different directions. So I almost like that's my pile. And I'm having a hard time separating it or something.
Yeah, and it's something to process too. You know, what I learned a long time ago when I go to conferences and seminars is if there's first off, are you talking about going to like a conference or a seminar, something like that?
Yeah.
Yeah. So the first thing to do is to have one page that's action items that you want to take based on that seminar. So you say, oh, I really need to research that. And you'll say, you know, if it's a big binder, look at page 33 or look at this speaker's page, right? So then you have your action items. So that's really, that saved me so much time. If you start a new topic, or say you're in the middle of someone's seminar and they're starting to say something really great and it has related to a project that you're doing at home, start a new piece of paper, put at the top the name of the project and start making notes there. That way, when you get home, you can rip it out and put it in the folder of that project. That way you don't have just a whole amalgamation of information that's just overwhelming. And I love what you said about clearing it out. You know, when you're in the hotel the night before you fly out or drive away, make sure that you get rid of all the propaganda that you're never going to look at again. Do not bring it into your house. Bring only the stuff that's your action items, the things that you're going to be able to use for other projects or possibly reference for future. So yeah, it's always good to start a new page for the new topic. If you can see it coming and you're going to use it for that project, definitely start another page so you can rip it out. Does that help?
It does, definitely.
Yeah. The main thing that I just love is having an action item list when I'm at conferences. Because when you're like, I want to do that, I want to do that, I want to do that. So you leave a conference and you have about 25 things that you really want to do because you're so psyched and excited. If you have that list, you know, realistically, you're going to maybe do 5 to 10 of them, but they'll be able to fall off and you'll be able to actually remember what it was that you wanted to do, and you can make a better decision on it later with that one specific list of stuff that you really wanted to do and tackle.
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks for that question. It's a good question. We all have that challenge. Anybody else have anything that they need to?
I had a quick question. This is Mariah. So I'm in between two worlds of holding on to paper, but also trying to apply the organization systems that you're talking about on the computer. I feel like with a lot of my clients now and everything, they're trying to get rid of paper. So I don't know what I'm really asking. It's just like, I know I'm trying to apply the same organization skills with my paper and online and vice versa. So and it just sounds like, I think every time I try to get organized, it's like I'm doing triple the work. Because then I like writing things down, but I need to have it in the computer, or I might already have it on paper. So finding a system where it could transition more smoothly.
Yes, we're right in that crux of, are we digital? Are we not digital? Are we paper? Are we digital? So you're feeling the pain that almost all of us are feeling. When we were talking about the seminar before, I was thinking to myself, I use Evernote now. And Evernote, do you use Evernote?
No, I downloaded it, but then I was like, I will get to that later.
Well, what's cool about Evernote is that you can take the notes that you've taken in the conference and shoot pictures of them, and they go in there. You can also type right into Evernote while you're at the conference. And that's a way to go digital with analog stuff and to put it all in one. And the beautiful thing about Evernote is that you don't have to really file, because it actually finds words in any document now. So say you're wondering about marketing or reading or writing or whatever, networking, any note that has those words in it is going to pop up in Evernote for you. So it'll be able to easily be found and searched. The search engine is amazing now. And why I popped on this Freedom Filer slide right here is because Freedom Filer has the system set up. The guy who designed it spent 6 years trying to figure out what a piece of paper could be, right? And he came up with those 6 categories, counting trash. And you can use that same exact protocol for your digital files. Okay, so you think to yourself, is this something in action now? Is this something that's a policy? Is this something that's a reference? What is this piece of paper? And you can file it on your hard drive with the same exact system that you're filing it in your files. Because what happens is we're in this transition of digital versus paper. We're breaking the cardinal rule of organizing like with like, right? Because we have some there and we're not sure where it is. The best way to bridge it is to at least use the same file system protocol for your paper and your digital. And you can do that very easily with the Freedom Filer system of, the five types of paper and the 8 types of action. I hope that helps, because we're all kind of in the same boat with this. Right now, I've taken a lot of my files that are paper and shot them into Evernote, so that Evernote now has become kind of like my main library.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
I just put that link in the chat room for you, the whole your self-publishing freedom filer thing.
Okay, good.
Cool. I didn't get the last slide though, so you might want to copy and paste all those links in if you want to copy it all into the thing.
Yeah, and I put them at the top of our
Okay.
in chat. So it's there. I just did a typo. I said KJ to organize and energize, but it's really Kathy.
Yeah.
So I like to give you a free training, and just grab that link and you'll get free training on how to organize your office. And it gives you a lot of steps to just kind of start on your pathway to getting more organized in your workspace. And then also my organizedandenergized.com has a lot of free tips and a lot of free information for you. If you decide that you want to check out Freedom Filer, just go to freedomfiler.com. If you end up wanting it, there's a little discount code for you. I think it's the best file system in the world. It's the only one that's been developed that's self-purging and self-rotating, and it actually empowers you and teaches you what to get rid of, how long you need to keep things, and it's a protocol for that. Your tax receipts are all organized, and it teaches you to purge and remove, replace things. But you can always reach out to me. Feel free to always email me or hit me up on Facebook if you have any specific questions. I'm here to help you get better organized. That's what I love.
And it's very apparent. We love people that are passionate about what they do. Awesome. Okay. Well, we can continue the conversation here. I want to jump to 5 minutes in the hot seat. If you could stop sharing for just a few.
Let's see if I can. Oh, goody.
There we go. Yay. I'm going to give her a round of applause for Kathy.
Oh, thank you.
Okay, great. And so the 5 minutes in the hot seat is for someone who has a challenge, has something they specifically need some feedback on, because this is a great little focus group. Anything like that, could be anything. It doesn't have to be speaking related. I'm going to take hands first. First one to raise their hand. Go. Nobody? Oh, Gary. Okay. Gary. So you're going to have 5 minutes, and you know the drill. You just want to share as much as you can in a minute or less so that you have 4 minutes to get all of our feedback. So make sure you guys are ready to unmute and give some feedback when he's done talking. Go ahead, Gary.
Okay, Katrina. I'm going to create a blog. I'm thinking about what the name of the blog. It's going to be a blog, and also I'll be using it for YouTube. I'm thinking about either business building tips with Gary, or Gary's business building strategies, or Gary's business building ideas. So I'm looking for your input. What would be a catchy title that I could use? And it's really going to be all about various steps of building a business.
Well, Gary, and you guys can all chime in, but you don't need to name your blog anymore. Your blog should be on your website. Your website should be your brand, and then your blog page has all your blog posts. It doesn't need a name. That's okay. My thinking. Anybody else? The days of having a separate blog are gone. Like, we don't want your blog somewhere else. We want your blog on your website, because that's what helps drive traffic to your website, is constant new content. But you said YouTube too. So YouTube, you might want to channel.
Yes.
Redesign my YouTube channel. That's different. But I didn't name it. It's under me. Who else wanted to say something?
Yeah, oh, yeah, I've seen people that just put a banner on top of the blog, and the banner has whatever the catchy title you want is. But as Katrina says, everybody's going to the blog is part of the website.
Okay.
It's just another heading on the website.
Mariah, what were you going to say?
Same thing. And basically just have your blog page on your website. Just say business building strategies.
Okay.
Yeah. You can, depending on your theme, if you're on WordPress, you can put different headers on the top of different pages. So if it's an older theme, you might not be able to do that. But in the design and the back end and the editing of that page, and I can show you how, depending on your theme, you could put a different header on every page of your website if you really wanted to, if you're in the right theme that allows you to do that. I don't know that you'd want to do that unless you had a similar, landscape or similar look and feel, and they just change the words on the page. You see people that have different headshots or different images, and then they have different words for their banners. You can do that.
Okay.
And I would suggest then not a title, a tagline. Like what's the result of your blog, not the title of your blog, because nobody cares about the title, they care about the result. Anybody else?
Good point.
No? That's good. What about the YouTube? Did you say you had something that you wanted for YouTube too?
Well, I was originally, I thought I'd probably use the same title or same wording for both.
Yeah, this is just an example of us overthinking, you know, no offense. Like we all do it. We all overthink some of these just like little simple decisions, don't you guys think? Right? And it slows us down from getting results because no one blog post is going to get you a lot of results, but multiple blog posts over time is going to show you as the influencer in your industry. So yeah, Kathy.
Well, I think also I was really happy that I ended up naming my YouTube channel by my name. So I think having the YouTube channel under your name is awesome, because that way as you morph and change and do different topics and subjects and perhaps even rebrand, it still is effective because it's you.
Okay, good.
As opposed to branding it with the name of anything besides yourself, because it is you.
Yeah, I was going to say, I just rebranded my YouTube channel. And so, like, just to show you quickly, here's my website, which this thing is encroaching on the header a little bit, which is annoying. I got to fix that. But then I'm just redid this YouTube channel. So this banner here is more like a lot of the bigger influencers on YouTube, where they say new videos posted weekly, your logos. Basically, this is the transformation. This is the benefit, right? Video speaking and training for entrepreneurs who want to make a lot more money doing what you love. There's no name to it. This is the result, right?
Okay.
And now there's also a call to action, which most of the people don't have. They don't have this driving me to the website right in the header. And then you want some credibility boosters over here and connections and stuff. So, you know, that's one thing you can do. And honestly, I got that done on Fiverr for like $10. Seriously. It was unlimited revisions for $10 or something. It was amazing. And now I have somebody though doing my YouTube SEO. So she's changing some of these images out. I didn't know it would click that. But she's creating some new images, like these kinds of images. I did this one and she did this one. You can tell there's a difference, right?
Okay.
So I'm getting some different SEO done because there's a lot to do in the back end of your YouTube to really make the traffic come and then get subscribers. And one thing I know I've learned recently is if you tell people to go subscribe to your YouTube, the 3 things you want them to do when they're on their YouTube is subscribe. You want them to watch one of your videos, but all the way through. If they stop in the middle or they only watch a portion, that hurts your reputation. They need to have them pick a video, like maybe just record a 5-minute one and tell everybody to watch that one all the way through. Because the more people watch it and then review your videos, that'll help your ranking on YouTube.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good point.
Great question. Awesome. All right, so we just have a few minutes left. I want to go around the room and see if there's anybody, like just popcorn it, like unmute yourself if you have something you want to share or invite people to. I put a bunch of my stuff in the chat room. I have an event. I have a call tomorrow on publishing and becoming an author. I have 9 books now, you guys, and I can show you how to either do your own or become a compilation and do it cheaply or get a publisher. I know a ton of people in the publishing, so if you want to come to that call, you'll know more. Anybody else? Let's see who's unmuted. Kathy, you have something?
Nope. Well, I do have something, but I'm not sure because this is evergreen. But for right now, I always run a holiday special, buy 3 hours, get 1 free. So if you want to jump into a Skype consulting to help me just trying to get you streamlined and ready for 2019, that's something that I offer every December.
Way to go. So they can go to your website for that, right? Or email you.
They can just direct message me. Yeah.
Okay, cool. Gary, what do you got?
Yeah. This Sunday I'm speaking at Next Step Toastmasters in Santa Clara, California. Begins at 2 p.m. It's at the Biltmore Hotel, and the topic is how to sell from the stage without feeling salesy.
Nice. That's good. And how do they find out information on that?
If they just Google Next Step Toastmasters.
Okay, they'll find it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And then Michelle, I know you have something on Friday. Are you going to tell people? Yes, you are. I'm unmuting you. I can't unmute you. I'm going to tell them if you don't unmute.
I want to know. I want to know.
Right? I can't hear you, Michelle.
Okay. I have a virtual Get It Done Day, which is for people who are always doing other people's work and helping everybody else and saying yes to clients and other people. So on the first Friday of every month, I host Get It Done Day on Zoom.
Yay! And she like sits there and watches you and holds you accountable, and you check in every hour. It's really good. And it's from what, 9 to
1 Pacific.
9 to 1 Pacific. You don't have to sit at your desk the whole time.
You don't have to sit at your desk. You don't have to be on camera. You just got to come and get your own ball further down the field.
Yeah, and have someone watch you.
Or work on your paper piles that Kathy just taught you.
Yes, and how can they find out more information about that?
awaywithchaos.com/events.
Perfect.
Michelle, did you put that in here?
Yeah.
No.
Put it in there.
Are you hiding? What is going on with Michelle, Katrina?
Hiding not only in the dark, but behind the computer. See?
Put it in there, Michelle.
I came to hear my friends.
I want to go to the Get It Done. It's free, you guys. If you're just sitting at your desk, do it. Okay, Johnny, you got something?
Yeah, I got something. Next Tuesday, December 11th, I'm going to do a little kind of a mini workshop, hour and a half in Roseville, called the Possibilities Workshop. I did one up in Reno a couple weeks ago, had a great turnout, just high energy. This is for people, some people that you people might know that have kind of lost their desire, lost their dream, think they're too old or they have too many setbacks. I bring a ton of energy and some really good stories to help them get motivated to find their dream again. It's, I put it in the link. You can go to my website, johnnyluhan.com/workshops. It's called the Possibilities Workshop. $27. It's pretty inexpensive for an hour and a half to recharge the dream.
Nice.
Okay. And then, Rich, can you not talk because you put something in the chat room? Who you were asking who was an author? Can you speak? Can you unmute and talk to us now that we can see you and you're not on the phone anymore? Oh, we can't hear your voice though. Hold on. Maybe you're not plugged into your audio or.
Katrina, do you want me to? I had something to add while Rich is trying to figure his stuff out.
Yeah, go ahead, Rhonda.
Okay. So I have a couple things happening in January, and I would love if anybody wants to be participating. So through the Fresh Inspiration Show, we are going to be in San Francisco, January 24th, and it's about I have 4 speakers with me that are around in this area in Sacramento and the Bay Area coming in to speak to the community in San Francisco. And it's going to be about inspiration, motivation, some tips in how to venture into your day so that you feel inspired, so you really get stuff done at a higher level. If you want a ticket, it's through Eventbrite, and I can get that information to you. And it's also set up like a meetup. So at the end of the show, it's about networking and getting to know people around San Francisco. So if anybody's interested in that, I would love to send that link.
You might want to also take them to a page where they can view the last one or the show. You know what I mean? So they can see it, because this is a speaking opportunity, yet it's also videotaped, and there's a whole bunch of stuff behind it. So it's.
Yeah, my assistant is building that right now.
Okay.
It should be available tomorrow. It was a due date today.
Well, then make sure they know how to email you if they want more information.
Yeah, I put that up here, and it's my name here, Rhonda, at rhondaliebig.com if you're interested in any of the stuff through the Fresh Inspiration. And you'll see my name up here. The last name is Lie Big. That's how creative I am. It's Lie Big. So it's Liebig. Rhonda at rhondaliebig.com.
Awesome. Rich, did you figure it out? No. Okay. Then you said something, you wanted to know who was an author, and I think a lot of us are authors. So I don't know. Maybe when you get the recording and the replay in the chat, you can go to people's websites and follow up. Or don't forget, you're all on the, if you all RSVP'd to the meetup, on the meetup page, which I actually put in the chat room as well, the meetup link. If you've all RSVP'd there, you can also message each other from meetup, right? So you can contact each other on meetup as well. And that's in there at meetup.com/Sacramento Speakers. And then I just put, we have a book launch next Tuesday for the Jumpstart Your Blank book that I'm in, and Johnny's in, and Chuck is in. If you guys can support us and either buy the book on Amazon and or share it out on Tuesday, that would be super helpful. And I have a page you can go to, which I just put in the chat. It's jumpstartyourmarketing.com, my website, /jumpstartyour_book. So there's just one little underscore for blank. But go there. It's just a quick little form, and then you'll get reminders and marketing copy and the day of and the day before. So we'd really appreciate your support. Anything else?
I forgot. I'm speaking at the Professional Women Business Association, Professional Business Women of California. Yeah. I have a webinar on Tuesday, January 8th at 10 a.m. Pacific. And anyone is, I believe that you can join, or if not, you can definitely hear the replay if you're not available.
Very cool. And I could literally sit here for hours and tell you all the other things that you can have access to. I am speaking at eWomen Network next Friday here in Sacramento. And if anybody's local, go to ewomennetwork.com. But yeah, great call. Thank you, Kathy. We really appreciate you being here. Thanks for posing the mastermind, Gary. And we'll see you in January. It's probably not going to be the first Tuesday because I think that's actually the first or the second, and I don't want to do a call on New Year's Day. So let's see. Yeah, the first Tuesday is actually January 1st. So we won't be doing it the first Tuesday. It'll probably be the second week that month. So just mark your calendars for the second Tuesday in January for the webinar, and watch your emails from Meetup for the luncheon if you're local, and whatever else I got up my sleeve, because I got some other things I'm going to share on that group. So thank you guys. We'll see you, and have a great holiday. I don't see you before.
Thanks, Katrina.
Thank you. Thanks, Kat. Thanks, Kathy.
Hey, Kathy.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thanks.